All right. The civilization that I chose was the ancient Mayan civilization. The Mayan civilization is one of the most mysterious civilizations in ancient history because they just kind of disappeared. For religion, the Mayans worshipped many nature gods, such as the sun god, which is this one right here, the rain god, which is this one, and um, there was the divine god, which is the one that was the most important. Mayan rulers were also seen as divine people, and they were between the gods and the common people. The Mayans also used human sacrifices in hopes to have the gods grant their requests. The science and religion that the Mayans had were closely connected. Their system of math and astronomy were correlated with their religious rituals. Today, some Mayan religious rituals are still used alongside with Catholicism. For economy, trade was a key component of Mayan society. It was the most important cities were the ones that could access the most important goods, so they were the most important cities. Many of these cities had access to obsidian, salt, and slaves. Trade over long distances was also controlled by the royal family. Trade moved ideas and people through Mesoamerica. Not much is known of Mayan merchants, but they are thought to have been part of the elite members of society because of how they are depicted in artwork. The culture of the Mayan civilization. In the Mayan culture, people were separated between the elite and the commoners, and those two separate peoples, the commoners and the elite, barely ever intermingled except for on very special occasions. The Mayan diet consisted mostly of maize and beans, so corn and beans, and traditional crafts the Mayans did to help pass time and for personal use was weaving and basketry and ceramics. So this is like an example of one of the baskets they would make. Much of the Mayan culture is a mystery, but it is believed that they lived much like inhabitants of Mesoamerica, how they live today. This is one of the Mayan ruins called Shunan Tunich. You can see that there's a little plaza right here and a plaza over here. The plaza over here is believed to be where the commoners had their gatherings, and the plaza right here is where the royal family and the elite people had their gatherings. So they rarely ever intermingled between each other. Some of the inventions of the Mayan people. One of the most well-known inventions is the calendar. They recorded lunar and solar cycles, eclipses, and planetary movement with more accuracy than anyone at that time, and their calendar was based on the religious rituals and religious practices. Many of you know that this was one of the big scares, that the Mayan calendar was going to end and the world was going to end. This is what the Mayan calendar looked like. Mayan hieroglyphics were made of nearly 800 symbols, and it was what they used for their communication and to create books about their gods, major events, and daily life. The pyramids, such as this one at Shunan Tunich, were to bring people closer to the gods. Many of these pyramids were used as tombs for the elite of the community, And in many of these pyramids, they had trap doors. If you weren't careful, you'd fall into one. The politics. The divine king was the center of all politics, and he exercised control over the administrative, economic, judicial, and military functions. Each community had a king, and that king, when the king is no longer able to rule, the king teaches his first son everything that he knows, and that is who is next to rule. If the king doesn't have a son, the daughter rules while they try and find a husband for her from a different ruling community. The Mayan civilization was kind of mysterious because they began to decline at the end of the 8th century, and the reason for this decline is no one really knows. Some people believe they had exhausted all the environmental resources needed to sustain them. Others believe that it was overpopulation and warfare among the cities. No matter what is believed, the Mayan civilization rapidly declined for unknown reasons. The environment of where the Mayans lived, they inhabited much of Central America, where is dense rainforest or jungle, so like this picture. There were few rivers for transport of goods and for trading, and there wasn't really a need for irrigation systems since it rained a lot. The Mayans took advantage of the diverse amount of natural resources for their survival and for trading. There are few 100% pure Mayans in the existence today, but there are nearly 1 million people in Central America that are from Mayan descent. So that's pretty cool. And here are my sources.